Welcome to Kitty Unfiltered. My name is Kitty, and this is Pan That Palette 2019, in which I am attempting to pan the Urban Decay Naked Palette. Now, I did start panning this palette in December, so I'm like a month ahead. So even though it is April 1st, I've been panning for January, February, March. So I've been panning for 4 months now, if I can math, like 4.5, because it was actually kind of the middle of November. But anyway, so I had several goals for this month, because last month was actually very, very good. I started kind of breaking through that upper layer and really getting down into the meat of this, and I'm very, very excited. It looks like I hit all of my goals but one, and that one was really, really close. So I'm going to take a little second here and insert my little montage to show you how we got to this point. Okay, so after 4 months of use, ta-da! Yay! Look at that, I have pan in every shadow except 2, and today was the first day I ever used those 2 shadows, so yeah, I'm doing pretty good. It's April 1st, so I already have been playing around trying to figure out my look that I want to do for April, but let's kind of go through and see what my goals were and how I got here. So I already had pan in Virgin. My goal originally on that was to extend the pan kind of all the way across the top there. I didn't quite do that, but I did expand it quite a bit, and I do really enjoy this color. In fact, we just had a sale where Urban Decay's individual shadows were half price at work, and it was all I could do not to buy like every Virgin left in stock. That sounded funny. Every color Virgin left in stock, because it is such a beautiful highlighter color. Even though it's this old, it's still amazing. But no, I didn't. I have this, and I have plenty of other brow highlights I need to use up. But if you're looking for a good brow highlight, I do recommend Virgin, and there's my pan on that. And I'm probably going to be using that pretty much every day for the rest of its life. Sin, I already had pan in, so we won't worry about that. Naked, my goal was to get at least half of the pan used up. And I did it. There we go, more than half. And then my goal for Sidecar, because last month was the first month I had ever used it, so my goal in Sidecar was to hit pan, which obviously I did. And then my goal for Buck was try to get half of the pan. I thought I'd get close, but I didn't think I'd quite hit it. And I was right. I got very, very close to hitting half the pan in Buck, but not quite. Very close. Half Baked and Smog, those were the 2 colors that had never been touched until today when I was trying to figure out my look for April. So they're fine the way they are. We'll get to them in a minute. Dark Horse, let's see, Dark Horse. Yeah, Dark Horse was the other color I used this month. I get a little confused because they kind of start to look alike after a while. So Dark Horse was a brand new color. My goal was to hit pan, and I definitely hit pan in that. That is a lot of pan for only using it for a month. Toasted, I didn't do anything to. I haven't been using that one. Hustle, I had been using in my brows for the past couple months using this palette. So I did knock out quite a bit of that. I think my goal was to knock out, to have about 1/3 of the pan showing, and that is what I did. Creep right here. It didn't have any pan in it, and yes, I did get pan finally like a couple days ago. So I did get pan in Creep, which was my goal there, and then Gunmetal was, I already had Gunmetal, so I'm not worried about it. So the only goal I did not reach was clearing out that whole top portion of Virgin, but I'm okay with that. I'm not making it. I don't think that I'm gonna have any issue getting that color used up. So for my 2 big new pans that I got this month, they were Sidecar and Dark Horse, which was the goal for this month. Neither one of them had been touched before. Dark Horse, I hit pan on the 13th, and Sidecar, I hit pan on the 17th. So it took me 13 days to hit pan there, and 17 days to hit pan there. And then obviously I got quite a bit moved out after that. And then Creep, my other new pan, I didn't hit pan on until the 28th. and I'd used it for a month before, so it took me 58 days to hit pan on that. But one of the things I wanted to show you is I have now used Creep and Gunmetal each for exactly 60 days. And look at the difference in the pans. I mean, Gunmetal's pan is huge. I used quite a bit of Creep, but I thought I'd actually used more because with Gunmetal I kind of just did more of a wash of color. But yeah, it's compared to that they've both been used the exact same amount of days. That's a really tiny amount of pan compared to that. But that just kind of shows you the difference in how these shadows are packed. Because like I said, both of these I've been working on for 60 days and that's all the pan I have. But like Sin, Sidecar, Dark Horse, and Toasted, all of those are only 30 days worth of use each. So there is a really big difference. So, you know, starting with Naked and Buck and Creep and Gunmetal, you're going to think that you're never ever going to get anywhere with this palette because those four are just packed in there really, really hard. I mean, I've used Naked and Buck every day for 4 months, and that's still how much shadow I have left in both of those. It's ridiculous using it every day for 4 months. But yeah, so don't get discouraged if you're like me and you're a little discouraged at the beginning, because you have 4 shadows that are in there kind of intense, and then the other shadows, they're going to be a lot easier to get through. So just know that Naked, Buck, Creep, and Gunmetal are going to take you a while, but the rest of them, super easy to get out of there. Okay, and I have now zoomed you in so you can see the look I'm going to be working on for the month of April. So obviously we are going to be doing Virgin, Naked, and Buck to start with. So Virgin is right here on my arch. Of course, I used it Naked in my transition area, and I put Buck in my crease to deepen it up. Next, I took Creep, my little black color right here, and I kind of just intensified. I went all the way through the crease and intensified that a little to give it a little extra dimension, since, I mean, this is a decent dark brown, but it's not a rich dark brown. I wanted to give, since I was going to have these kind of bolder colors on the lid, I wanted to give a little more definition to the crease, so I used Creep to give definition to the crease. I also have Buck and Creep here on a little liner brush under my eye. And then for the colors, this is my first time kind of trying to do like a real halo, spotlight, whatever, so it's not the best, but that's the technique I'm going to be practicing this month. And I'm going to be practicing it with the only 2 colors left that I do not have pan in, which are Half to Bake and Smog. So I have Half Bake in the center of my lid, and then I have a little bit of Smog on the outside of each of it. I think I made the mistake, I put Half Baked on first because I got a little excited. So my whole lid kind of looks more goldy. I think if I would have put on Smog first and kind of filled in more and then just a little bit of gold in the middle, I know I'm going to try it. But like I said, I'm kind of new to the whole spotlight or halo eye, so it's going to be a few days before I get that down. But I think that using these products, I will be able to figure that out by the end of April. Hopefully. Okay, zoomed you back out so we can do my goals for the month. Virgin, obviously, I'm still working on taking out the top part, but I don't really care about having a goal for Virgin just because I really love the color so much, and I know it's going to get used up, so I'm not too worried about having a goal for Virgin. It's all going to get used up by the end of this, so I'm okay with it. We'll just see how far we get it. For Naked and Buck, Naked I'd like to use up at least 3/4 of the pan. Buck I'd like to use up at least 2/3. So I'd like to get well past half by the end of April. For Half Baked and Smog, my 2 focus colors and the 2 colors that have never been touched, I really just want to hit pan. They don't seem quite as crumbly as the shadows I was using last month, but again, I have only used them once. So the upper layer is always a little more tough, so they may be a little more crumbly when I get in there. But my goal for that is just try to hit pan. That's really it. That's all I'm going for. I think I'll be able to, but I don't know. They seem a little stiffer than Sidecar and Dark Horse were. But like serious, here's Sidecar and Dark Horse. Those were the 2 colors I used last month, and neither one of them had been used before, and I definitely hit pan before the month was out. So hopefully I'll still hit pan. I might not hit as big as patches of pan, but hopefully the goal is to at least hit pan in those. Creep, I'm doing a big goal since I am putting it all the way through my crease and on my lower lash line. I'd like to clear out that whole top portion. It doesn't look like a lot, but if you take where the dip is now, if I could just take that and go all the way straight across, so that's all straight bare pan in there. It's only like 1/8 of the shadow, but I still think for creep that's going to be a good goal because it is still pretty densely packed compared to gunmetal. And that's it. That is my update for April Fool's Day, which I don't feel like a fool at all. I feel like I'm actually accomplishing something. I'm very proud of myself. So here we are. So hopefully this time next month, whenever I see you again, I will have pan in every shadow in here. Hopefully like noticeable pan, because I know I have pan and creep, but it's kind of just that tiny spot. So I'd like to have noticeable pan in the entire palette, and that would be at the end of what, 5 months worth of work for me. So if I could do that, then I would feel pretty confident about getting this thing used up by the end of the year. So hopefully, fingers crossed. I think I'm getting there. I'm feeling a lot better. I'm definitely getting into the groove. Again, learning all sorts of new techniques playing with this palette because of the variations in the formula. And I'm really happy, and I'm excited to try to learn how to do Halo Eye by the end of the month as well. So thank you all for stopping by. Everyone have a great day, and I'll see you later. Bye.